Transportation leaders are warning of what they call a death spiral if public transit doesn't get the funding that it needs to stay afloat. Ridership has fallen by 90% since the pandemic started as departments find themselves strapped for cash. Dan Grossman shows us how the effects are reaching far beyond the departments themselves.
Even if you aren't one of the 36 million Americans who relied on public transportation in 2019, make no mistake that this story affects you just as much as if you were.
Without transit, there is no economic recovery.
As executive director of the National Association of City Transportation Officials, or NACTO, Corinne Kistner knows the peril that faces public transportation right now is life or death.
The reality is that transit agencies are in an existential crisis.
Life or death for more than just those tasked with buoying the system.
We need people to get tested. In many places, they have said they will not test anyone who doesn't arrive in a car. Well, there are a lot of people that don't have one.
Once ridership dropped by up to 90% across the country, public transportation departments saw their revenues plummet. Beth Osborne with Transportation for America, a public advocacy group, says aside from fares, most transit money comes from sales tax, which also took a hit when the economy shut down.
It really does have tentacles that impact so much of our economy, of our health, of recovery and getting through this.
In San Francisco, the revenue drop has led to Bay Area Rapid Transit dropping more than 50% of its service. The story is similar for most major city transit systems where essential workers comprise 36% of the rider base.
So we're really limping along and hoping that Congress will approve more funding for us.
The $25 billion in CARES Act funding alleviated some woes early on, but officials estimate $32 billion more is needed to make it through the end of the year, and right now no package is in place.
We're doing what we can to try to get essential workers to and from where they need to go, but beyond that, it's not much of a service compared to what we used to provide.
If departments don't find an answer, NACTO says 30,000 jobs could be lost because of stalled capital improvement projects, only exacerbating a larger problem our country has been trying to fix for months now.
There's simply no other mode that's as efficient as transit, and transit is what makes dense urban environments, the economic, the cultural, the social engines of our cities possible.
In San Francisco, I'm Dan Grossman reporting.